Welcome to wonderful Winton in northeastern Victoria, race 5 of the 9-round Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Well, not a lot has changed. Nissan's GTR domination of pole position has continued. Jim Richards has pole position here today, sharing the front row with him, Glenn Seaton in the Peter Jackson Sierra. From position number 3, Holden fans take hope it's Win Percy. From 4, Dickie Johnson in the Shell Sierra. And from position number 5, Mark Scaife in the second Nissan GTR. Dickie Johnson 10 seconds away from the action at Winton Motor Raceway at Benalla. Racing, Richards goes a look at Scaife on the dirt. Trying to get a hold of it and pick up Seaton before the first turn, but he's muscled into third place. Percy goes back to 4th, 5th is Bond. And Dick Johnson has missed out terribly there. In fact, John Bow will probably pick up a point as they stream out of here going up towards the sweeper with Jimmy Richards in front. Settling into second, and a great second too, is Glenn Seaton in the Peter Jackson Sierra. Then comes Mark Scaife, who had all sorts of problems yesterday in qualifying. I don't know whether these stewards will have something to say about using the grass verge getting off the line. And Johnson, who started in the second row, was actually muscled out before they made it to the first turn.
Yes, Bond, Bow and Johnson all had brake lock-ups at the end of the pit straight the first time, and it looked like there may have been some contact, but Scaife's start was unbelievable. He just went straight to the dirt and did some rallycross. Up to third place now, so he's clear of Win Percy. Richards the leader at the end of lap number 1 from Seaton. Then it's Scaife in position 3, Percy in 4, then Bond, Bow, Johnson, followed then by Alan Jones, Tony Longhurst, Larry Perkins, Peter Brock, Finnegan and Ashby.
The usual rocket start from Richards GTR. Dick Johnson joked yesterday the only way Seaton will beat him off the line is if he turned hard right when the light went green. That's about the only way he'd do it. The
restart that Neil called for off the starting line. Let's turn right, get out on the loose stuff and run. And that's exactly what happened for Mark Scaife. I think that was a planned move, but he sits in behind Glenn Seaton's Peter Jackson Sierra. Tries to take advantage of that into the turn, but Seaton closed the door on him, and that's the way they're still running on the road at the moment.
That four-wheel drive's handy.
The Leyland brothers would have been proud of him.
Here we take our 7 Sport race cam and Peter Brock's Mobil 1 Commodore, the right-hander past the start-finishing line, the downhill run to the tightening right-hander here as he sits behind Tony Longhurst. Just ahead of Longhurst is Alan Jones, Dick Johnson, and leading that pack is John Bow in the number 18 Shell Sierra.
Interesting tyre war exists here. We've got Richards on Yokohama, Cito running Bridgestone. Then we've got Mark Scaife in 3rd position, also Yokohama, and Win Percy 4th on Dunlop, and all producing pretty even performance in this early stage of the race, with only coming up to 12 minutes down.
This is all getting serious
as
Mark Scaife up on the inside of Glenn Seaton takes over 2nd spot. Nissan's 1-2. Glenn Seaton now back to 3rd.
Just interesting to notice that the Nissan crew look as though they're preparing themselves for a stop. I have no idea why that would be occurring.
There's certainly a bit of activity down with the Nissan boys.
Jim Richards comes up onto the pit straight and continues.
Freddie's got the
Mark Scaife,
yeah, it's Mark Scaife.
It looks like he may be penalised for
stop
and is it just a stop-go?
Yeah, it's a stop-go penalty. No spanners coming out. The car just comes in, stops, and out again. And that would have had something to do with his tractor trip down the inside along the grass at the start. So Scaife rejoins the circuit just in front of Colin Bond.
I tell you what, they waited long enough to give him the penalty though. Like, he's fought his way all the way up to pass Glenn Seaton, and then gee, I would have thought that penalty would have been on within the opening 3 laps. That's what happens in the States anyway.
Not real happy, Mike.
I didn't think you'd be.
No, I can't understand. Like, it's a bit late making that decision. Also, like, okay, that's the start. It was up in the grass, 2 wheels in the grass. They said 4. The stewards here this weekend are sort of getting a bit over cautious, I think, with what they're doing. I'm not real happy with the decision at all, but like, I think we'll come back through the field and we'll probably see a good race now.
But I think he's got problems, correct, Dick?
Mate, it's got the mating call. You know?
No, I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I tell you what, the way it's going, it feels like a seat flight. Here's old LP, thinks he's doing real good.
Yeah.
Actually, I was quite surprised, Mike, that...
There he goes.
Yeah, well, I've got to let him go, the poor guy. I'm sort of kind of holding him up. He's the worst guy in the world to get past, old LP.
Yeah, why is that?
He's got the widest car in the world.
Are you planning on making a pit stop,
But
Dick?
even the Sierra on one cylinder's got as much front as the Commodore.
Oh, come off it. This is his chance now, the back straight. Pulls to the outside quickly. Runs up alongside the door of Win Percy. Win's in no mood to settle and give him a run, but he does at the last moment. And that was a good pass from Mark Scaife. Good pass.
Peter's having a good scrap here at the moment. It's Bondi.
Peter's in 9th place at the moment. Just ahead of him is John Bow, and ahead of him is Colin Bond.
Whoops, and that was close, Rocky. Whoa, 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 whoa. Even the experience can be all arms and legs at times. Here's the scrap that I spoke about before with Tony Longhurst getting closer to the back of Win Percy's car. We've talked on many occasions this year about the consistency of the BMW. Neither Tony nor Alan happy that they have a soft enough race tyre for this track this weekend. And look at Tony probing up the inside and makes the space and quickly goes underneath. Win was pretty casual then in his defence, so I'd suggest that he's unhappy with the grip that his car's got and not really interested in putting up a fight, knowing that Tony's going to get him anyway. So a slightly dejected Win Percy, I'd suggest, judging by the way Tony was able to do that so quickly. Probably a little bit disappointed. Here's the top of Nissan GTR. That's it. I couldn't think of the name of the rotten thing. And Mark Scaife at the helm, chasing Glenn Seaton.
Keeping in mind that Scaife has had that stop-and-go penalty. He's come clawing his way back through the field. Looks to poke the nose down, a little show and tell here with Glenn Seaton.
Mike, what you see from this view is how effective the Nissan is out of tight corners. Watch when it comes out of Penrite, which is the next right-hander, how much room Mark can play in where the Cedo can't. Look at this.
Yeah.
And then when he stomps on the gas here, it just goes and off she goes. All the grip in the world, and a pretty casual pass into second place. They could not have calculated any finer. That's not encouraging sound, is it?
Here's some skid.
Colin Bond, that was, with the rear brakes all locked up. He's still having strife, and it's still going. And
Laughing Jack.
That was about a 400-metre lose there. Bondi gathers it up. Bow takes the position away from him. And I wonder what was going on there.
that started at the end of the back straight. That was like a 15-second lose for Bondi.
Coming up for the run down the back straight now, you should see Seaton switch to the inside. Here he goes.
See you later, Dick.
So, one lap put on Dick Johnson by young Glenn Seaton. That'll cap off a great 26th birthday today because he's going to get a slice of the rostrum again.
Well, we're halfway through the Australian Touring Car Championship, and that usually means that Bathurst is a fairly short time away. As far as Sierras are concerned, this will be the car to watch up there.
Checkered flag at the ready, and it'll be Jimmy Richards to come out of the last turn. Here he comes. And the fifth round at Winton goes to Jimmy Richards. Teammate Mark Scaife takes second. And third place is in fact going to go to Glenn Seaton in the Peter Jackson Sierra, car number 30. Fourth to Tony Longhurst in the BMW, car number 25.
Mark Scaife, I guess you're a pretty frustrated man, although it was a fabulous drive back through the field.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the hardest I've worked for a fair while, Crompo. It's off the line. You know, we were lucky enough to get down the grass there and not get punted out, and then to have to stop and go and come back through made us work pretty hard for